Dun, 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 dun.
Gosh darn it, I broke the cup. Hey guys, what's up? It's Dylan. I hope you're all having an amazing day. If not, I hope I'm going to be able to make it even better with this great story I've got for all of you. So today I'm going to be trying out something new and try out a story time type of video. Now, I've always seen a lot of these on YouTube and they've always sort of interested me, but I've never really gotten the chance to tell one. But now I finally have a chance to make a storytime video. First off, I want to give a quick shout out to everyone that I met at Playlist Live 2016 Orlando, Florida this year. It was my first time going and I had a ton of fun, and I just want to thank everyone that I met there for making it even greater. Without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So, I'm not sure how many of you know this, but recently I was at Playlist Live 2016 Orlando, Florida. If you don't know what Playlist Live is, it's this big event for a bunch of YouTubers and Viners and Instagrammers and all that fun stuff. It's where you can meet your favorite celebrities or YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, and you can learn about the business of YouTube, or you can learn how to grow your channel. It's this really cool event that lasts for 3 days, I'm pretty sure it did, and it's just so amazing to meet all these people there and meet all your favorite people and YouTubers, Viners, and you can just meet a bunch of new people too. It's really, really fun. So Playlist Live 2016 Orlando, Florida was April 22nd to April 24th. So I bet you're all wondering now, like, what's this story about, Dylan? Why are you telling it? I'm kind of getting bored, so let me tell you. This is a story about my first party. Now, I'm homeschooled, so I'm not really that type of person who gets to go out to all those crazy parties and goes to all those crazy social events with the squad, you know, getting turned up every chance you get. That's why, at almost 16 years old, I just went to my first party. So now that you guys know a little bit of the backstory, let's now get to the actual story. Alright, so we weren't alone at Playlist. We had actually gone with another family that's a friend of ours. Let's just call them the Mayor's family. So on the second night of Playlist Live 2016 Orlando, Florida, get that promo, there was a pool party. The pool party was actually supposed to happen on the first night, but it started raining out, so you know, they couldn't have a pool party when it was raining, so they just moved it indoors, sort of, and they had the party on the second night. The pool party was so amazing, it felt like I was at Coachella. While we were at the pool party, if we looked up about 15, 16 stories or so, maybe less, maybe more, we could see this deck that had a big Playlist Live logo plastered across the wall. And we're like, hey, where's that deck? It looks like a fun party. We want to go there. So we're sort of checking out the pool scene, still looking up at that balcony, trying to figure out how to get there. And then we hear from two of our friends that there's going to be a full screen VIP party. And so they're like, yeah, there's a party going on tonight. It's a full screen party. We aren't sure where it is, but we heard it's gonna be great. We were like, yo, let's try and find this full screen party. And we're like, you know what? It might be on that balcony. All of us, my family and the Mayor's family, we head inside, we dry off change, head inside to the hotel. We hop in the elevator and we go up, because we had counted the floors on the outside. We were counting them one by one to see about how high this balcony area was. And so we count, it's about the 14th or 15th floor. So we decide, hey, let's stop on the 14th floor here. Actually, no, we'd actually gone higher. We like went to the 18th floor or something. We didn't find anything there. And so we dropped down to like the 11th, still don't find anything there. And then we go up a few floors to the 14th floor. Now, we head out, we sort of, you know, explore the hallways, you know, go this way, go that way, go back, go forwards, you know, we're just checking out the area, trying to find if, like, there's a balcony out here, if there's a party going on, or what really is happening, if we can even get into the party. We don't find anything on that floor. And we're like, you know what, we should probably just head out, you know, go chill or whatever, or just head back home. So we go back to the elevators, and while we're waiting for the elevators, all of a sudden, like, one opens up and we see a ton of people spill out. There's like, I don't know how many though, there's like 30 people spilling out of the elevator, coming out of the hallways, and they're all going in one direction, and that's like back the way we came. So I see all these people going back the way we had come, and I just like look at everyone and I'm like, you know what? I gotta follow them, because I was just curious why there were so many people there and why they were all going in that same direction. So I hit up the back of the line and I just start following all these people, and my parents and the mayor's family aren't too far behind me. We go like one hallway down and make like a sharp left, and all of a sudden everybody is in that hallway. There's like 30 people jammed packed in the hallway. The place is like flooded with people, and we're like, what the heck is going on? Everybody's taking pictures with like a bunch of random people. There's like flash going on all over the place. It's like everybody's just going crazy, like taking pictures and like crowding the entire place and like being loud and stuff. Everybody's crowded around this one door, and like they're just like, oh my god, is there a fight going on in there? What's going on? They're like, oh my god, I think there's like somebody either fighting in there or there's like screaming, or what's going on? Oh man. And so I'm just like, oh my god, what is that? Why is everybody at this door? All of a sudden, like, the door opens back up and this girl comes out and she's like, everybody get out. You have to get out of the hallway. Leave if you aren't coming in here. And everybody's like, oh man, oh no, we gotta get out. Like, yo, get out of here. Security might come. And me, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not leaving. I'm checking out what's in here. So as everybody's leaving, there's another group of people that are heading in the door. So like they're sort of passing each other, you know? Like some people are going in the door, others are like leaving the hallway or coming out of the room. I hit the line that's going in, and the girl who had told everybody to get out, since everyone starts coming into the door, she just gets like pressed against the wall, and everyone like sort of starts swarming in, everyone that had stayed there. And so I make it in, and then like 3 people behind me, the door just shuts, and like nobody else is allowed in. Everyone else is stuck out in the hallway. It's crazy, like everybody's leaving, but some people are still sort of staying there, like wondering what's going on. Turns out it's a party. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in a party. How did I get in this party? 'Cause I'm a pimp. That's right, I got into my first party at Playlist Live 2016, Orlando, Florida. So I decided to sort of check out the scene before I head out of the room, because you know, I just got into my first party. I'm not gonna give this opportunity up. So I make my way through the crowd of everybody that's like stuffed together. I see a table of drinks to the right of me. There's like Sprite, Dr. Pepper, you know, vodka, or whatever they have there. And I just make it to the back, and I see these 2 sliding glass doors, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a deck out there. Maybe it's the deck we were searching for that we could see from the pool originally. I head out there thinking it's gonna be this huge deck with like Playlist Live splashed across the wall, but I go out and I'm wrong. It's like 2 feet of deck. So I like go right in front of the glass doors before I realize that it's not a big deck and it's just a small one. And all of a sudden, like, I see this kid staring at me, and he's just like, and so I just stare back at him a little, and I'm like, you know what, Dylan? Play it cool, you know, just nod at him or something. And so I'm just like, sup? And he nods back at me, and he's just like, so I turn around to get away from the nodding deck, or whatever you want to call it, and I turn around and see this bed in front of me. And there's this girl and there's this guy, and they're both on the bed. And you know, they're being a little obscene with their gestures, and on the inside, you know, I'm dying and I'm screaming and I want to leave as fast as I can. But I don't. Because I can't do that, really, because then, you know, that would attract a lot of attention to me, and I don't really want that. So, like, the people next to me are just like, hey, yeah, oh my gosh, haha, that's so funny. And I'm just like, I lower my voice by like 10 octaves, and I'm just like, hey, get it. And like on the inside, I'm just like, why are you doing this, Dylan? This is awful. But like the outside me is like, yeah. So I immediately turn away from the bed and from the deck. So I start making my way back. But about 2 steps later, I'm blocked and I can't really get past anyone. And there's this kid at the table with a backpack, and he's like blocking my way, and he's at the table, you know, pouring himself a drink. So he's making himself a drink or whatever, pouring some Sprite, Dr. Pepper, whatever he's doing, and I'm just trying to get by him. I'm like tapping him, and I'm like, can I get by you? Nothing happens, and I'm like, I tap him again, and I'm like, can I get by you? And still nothing happens. So I tap him again, and I'm like, hey, can you move so I can get past you? And still nothing happens. And then I realize that I've been tapping his backpack the whole time, so he hasn't felt a thing. So finally, I just like sort of push my hand against him, and I'm like, yo, dude, move. I need to get by you. And he like finishes what he's doing and like just leaves. And he's like, oh yeah, whatever. After that, I'm like, you know what? I gotta come out of here with a souvenir. And so I walk up to the table and I see a ton of like alcohol, a ton of drinks, ton of like 2-liter bottles of soda. I see this one Sprite that's opened and I see another Sprite that's closed. And so I don't really know if they're saving that other Sprite or if they're all using that opened one. So I grab a red Solo cup and I turn to the guy behind me. And this is where I like make a stupid mistake that I shouldn't have done besides going into the party. So I turn to the guy and I'm like, hey, does it matter which Sprite I take? And the guy just looks at me like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I just turn back to the table and pick up a Sprite and start to pour it. And these are like big jugs of Sprite. They're like 2-liter jugs of Sprite. And this thing's like just opened. And so I'm pouring it and my hands are shaking like crazy. Here's my cup, and let's pretend this is Sprite. Okay, so I've got my Sprite here, and I'm pouring it, and I've got my drink here, and I'm holding my drink cup in the air and pouring it, and like my hands are shaking so bad, but my hands before were like this. I'm like, my legs are shaking too. So I'm just like totally freaking out by this point. I just, you know, pour my drink and start to head out of the party while carrying my red Solo cup drink. I'm not going to drink it, I just thought I'd get a souvenir. So at this point, I realized that I've pretty much seen the entire party area and I was starting to miss my parents, and like, I realized that they were probably worried about me and like, hey, where is Dylan? How'd he get into this party? And so I decide to head back out towards the hallway. So I make my way to the door, and as I get to the door, I see this girl holding the door open for one of her friends, and she's just standing there real quick to let her friend out, and then she's gonna go. But she's like got this septum piercing and like purplish pink hair, and so I just like see her hair, and I'm like, hey, wow, you have cool hair. And so she's like, aw, thank you, buddy. That's weird. Thank you, sweetie. Thanks, sweetie. And so I'm just like, sweetie? Buddy? What you gonna settle for? And so I just sort of laugh it off and just head out the door, but on the inside, I'm like, which one's better? Is it better to be her buddy, or is it better to be sweetie? I mean, and so I head out, and I turn the corner, and I just see my family standing there, and they're like, oh my god, Dylan, you're here, and they're like, how'd you get in? And I'm just like, you know, I followed that, like, crowd going in, and I just made it in. And at this point, I'm, like, so shaky from all, like, the exhilaration of, like, whatever just happened, really, and I'm just like, oh my god. I start to relay the story back to them, and they're just like, oh my god, that's crazy, you just like nodded at that guy, and like I still have the cup in my hand, and so I'm just like, I'm not gonna keep this because it might be spiked with alcohol. So my mom's just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, just, you know, throw it out, man. I had to recall on every teenage movie I had ever watched, you know, Perks of Being a Wallflower, get it. Project X trailer, you know, get it, you know. Scooby-Doo, get it. Greg Heffley and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, get it, you know. Other teenage movies, get it, you know, with teenage partying, yeah. Oh, and don't forget, you know, High School Musical 1, 2, and 3, High School Musical Sing-Along Edition. Had to call on all of those to get those sick party skills down. So we head out and we just go back to the elevators where we'd started. We just get back in the elevator, we go all the way back down to the first floor, and we meet our friends, the mayor's family, and I just tell them the story. I'm like, yo, it was crazy, man. And we're like, you know what, we can't really find the deck, but tonight was amazing. I had a great time. I think, though, that it's time we head back home and get rested up for the next day, the final day of playlist. So that is the story of my first party. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever been to your first party, or if you haven't been to a party yet, and what you sort of think it's gonna be like, or what it was like for you. I really love to read those comments. Or what was your favorite part of this video, you know? Just let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Be sure to subscribe. I make new videos about once every month. I hope you enjoyed this video, but if you didn't, sorry about it.